So good afternoon everyone, I'm Dorothy and here are my group mates Isabella and Fanny. We are from the accounting department. And nowadays actually it seems that MP3 standard has been the most common and popular standard for all of us. Just like every one of us will carry out one of the audio device just like the iPod or the MP3 player. And so actually what's all about this technology to make it become so common and popular? Today, we, Group 32, are here to present you a brief introduction and model analysis of the MP3 standard. And so including its application, its core and science technologies, and as well as bring you all the future development of this MP3 standard. So MP3, actually what do these three characters stand for? It stands for the audio layer 3 of MPEG 1 and MPEG 2, which is actually published by the Moving Picture Experts Group by a group of engineers at the University of Hanover, AT&T Bell Labs, or even some engineers from the CCETT. And actually it's a kind of common audio format and a standard for the consumer audio storage on all those players. And it's based on the principle to transfer and compress all those audio on the digital audio players. And actually what makes it so common and popular these days is because of 11 times smaller file size than those CD audio in the old days. And so actually the widespread application of MP3 has been with the rise of the peer-to-peer network, whereas actually the peer-to-peer network is first initiated by the Northsoft audio player, the Winamp, in 1990s, and followed by all those audio players in Korea, developed by Korea, just like the MP-Man around PMP300. And actually the peer-to-peer file network and file network actually enables the further sharing of those music on mp3.com. Just like we can see from the previous days, we can see it's a centralized system, and these days we've changed to a peer-to-peer free access network from any one of the computers, enabling the free downloading and uploading of the music. And so, though it's very popular for the peer-to-peer network to share all those music, however, there's an important issue to concern here. It's all about copyright infringement. Since all those sharing of the MP3 of the MP3 developed by the MP3 standard, it has made more music to be downloaded illegally on the websites, and actually it's kind of violating the music piracy. And so we can see that hereafter we have got lots of lawsuits against the peer-to-peer network, whereas the Lepster, finally to be launched in 1999, is actually the first of its kind to launch the music online pay service.
And now I will talk about the core technologies of MP3. The first one would be the hybrid filter bank analysis, and the main purpose of the polyphase filter bank is to divide the audio signal into some frequency bands. And while the MDCT helps to avoid artifacts stemming from the block boundaries. And MP3 also applies the perceptual audio coding model to conduct the lossy compression, which is based on the limitations of human audio system. And the quantization and coding of the audio signal would apply the power law quantizer and Huffman coding. And now I will pass over to Dorothy to talk about the hybrid filter bank analysis.
And actually the technology behind the MP3 standard is first by using the hybrid filter bank analysis, and it's actually by the polyphase filter bank first to divide an audio signals on the spectrum from 0 kHz to 20 kHz, and actually to make it to divide into 32 subbands. And those 32 subbands are actually further to be divided into 18 subbands further. Each of 625 kilohertz within those subbands, and they are of the variable wavelengths. And actually you can see that within those 32 initial division of the subband, each band is actually limited to the human perception of hearing the sounds of frequencies. And so actually after this polyphase filter bank, it's go through by the modified discrete cosine transform. And actually it's actually what the stage I've talked about to further division of into those 18 subbands within each of the 32 subbands. Yeah. Okay.
The first core technology of MP3 is the perceptual audio coding model. It aims to compress the digital sound by eliminating some frequencies which cannot be perceived by a human. So in other words, it utilizes the human limitation in the perception in the following three ways to do the compaction. The first one is the hearing threshold. Because our human perception is limited in 20 Hz and 30 kHz, so the frequencies outside the range will be eliminated. The second method is the auditory masking. Some sounds which is at a higher amplitude, which is the louder sound, will cover the soft sounds. So the soft sound in this way will be eliminated for the compaction. And the third technology is the temporary masking. The concept is that some sudden stimuli sounds will make another sound be inaudible, and it is divided into backward masking and the forward masking. Backward masking is that the sound immediately preceding the masker will be covered, and forward masking is the other way around. The sound immediately following the masker will be lost. So using these three methods, the compaction can be done in a more effective way.
And for the lossy compression, it can minimize the storage space while keeping the sound quality at the same time. This is mainly due to the limitation of the human audio system. And this is done by discarding any sounds with frequencies out of audible scale and storing a single copy of group of similar sounding notes. These are based on the psychoacoustic model, which can reduce the amount of bits necessary to faithfully reproduce the same signal. And the lossy compression can achieve up to a 10:1 compression ratio, which can save lots of storage space. And for the side technology of MP3, the first one is the audio tag, the ID3V1. It is a metadata container which contains the information of the MP3 file, like the title of the song, the artist, the album, and even the track number of the song. It will use up to 1 to 8 bytes of the MPEG audio file. And another technology is the digital watermarking, which is a form of steganography. It embedded the secondary digital data to primary audio digital data to provide the ownership protection and to prevent any unauthorized copy of digital media. And Fanny now will talk about the last side technology.
The last technology is the volume normalization. It occurs when we are playing the MP3. Different songs will be played at different amplitude. So some songs will be at a louder sound and some songs will be at a softer sound. And some people will encounter this problem in some way. And the volume normalization is to have some adjustment of this amplitude so that we can attain a consistent volume among the different songs. But however, some audio programs in the past year cannot achieve this volume normalization in a very effective way because these programs are using the peak amplitude analysis to normalize the audio. There are no comprehensive analysis of the frequencies. So sometimes you will still notice the volume difference between the songs. And later in 2001, a software called Replay Gain was invented to normalize the loudness of the audio at a more effective way. It contains the more comprehensive volume analysis based on the Replay Gain algorithm to adjust the volume of the entire albums. MP3 has contributed a lot to the computer technology, but in 2003, a more advanced technology, MP4, was invented. Actually, MP3 and MP4 are quite different. One of the major differences between them is that MP3 is actually an audio compaction, but MP4 is a media container to store the media of different types like the audio, video, text, or images. Both MP3 and MP4 have provided the convenience and also the entertainment to the people's life. It's nearly all of our presentation. We hope that the presentation can improve your understanding on both MP3 and MP4. Thank you.